People that are in this business, they'll lead you astray. This is not what God intended for you to do with your life.
My mother got sick.
What happened to her?
I'm your daughter.
I don't remember giving birth to you.
You need someone that loves you, that will take care of you. I want my wife released now.
You have no one to blame but yourself, Norma Jean.
Everyone, welcome back to another episode of TV Junkie JennaRation. This is going to be an early review of The Secret Life of Marilyn Monroe. It premieres May 30th and 31st at 8 p.m. on Lifetime. It's a two-night event. Hi, I'm Marilyn. That's my Marilyn voice, which is just awful. Obviously, this is based around Marilyn Monroe, the famous Norma Jean / Marilyn Monroe, and her life. So let's just get into the pros and cons of The Secret Life of Marilyn Monroe on Lifetime. All right, pro number one. Kelly Gardner, who plays Marilyn Monroe, does a great job. As we know, that's a very, very hard role to play. I mean, she's an icon. I mean, I have the book here. I've read the book. I mean, that's big shoes to fill. I think she does a great job. What I loved about it is we've all seen the life of Marilyn Monroe when she was older, but in this version, in Lifetime's version, they show you the Marilyn Monroe's life from when she was a child and her mother and her mental illness and how she loved her aunt and how that affected her and how she started to have a little bit of the illness that her mother had, how that started to begin. And I think that's why she started to self-medicate. So we really get a lot of the backstory, which I love about that. And it's told in a very unique way. You'll see that she's talking to a therapist, telling the therapist about her life and how she created her Marilyn voice when she was at the movie, and one of the girls coming around selling cigarettes. I guess you could sell cigarettes in movies back then, and Candy had this Marilyn Monroe breathy voice, and that's how she developed her voice. So I really liked getting the backstory. I liked getting how she developed the voice, the character, and her life story, and I like how they told it through the eyes of her recanting her life to her therapist. I thought, you know, that was really, really, really great. And what's also great is, you know, Kelly Gardner is, you know, not a mega famous woman, so she does a great job at playing this role. So that's definitely pro number one. Pro number two is I liked how they showed her relationship with her mother. Obviously, we're always affected by the relationships we have with our family, and the things that happened to us when we were little change us for the rest of our life. So Susan Sarandon plays her mother, and she is just fantastic. And we get a lot of meaty, juicy information about her mother and her relationship with her mother. And you can really see why things ended up the way that they did because of that. And that's definitely a second pro that I like. The third pro is I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and this might be a personal pro. He plays the famous Joe DiMaggio, which we know that Marilyn and Joe had quite an intense relationship. She did with multiple men, but we really focused on Joe DiMaggio in this. And I think he's great and fabulous, and I think he does a wonderful job. And you can feel the chemistry between the two, which is sometimes hard to fake, and you could really feel it. So that's definitely my third pro. Con, the only thing I could say is that, you know, Susan Sarandon, who plays Marilyn's mother, obviously had a lot of psychological issues, and since there's so much life, you know, like I said, there's a million of these books about Marilyn Monroe with, you know, multiple pages of her life. There's so much to get through. I understand that Lifetime can't put so much, into one character, but I would have liked to have seen more of the, of the effects of her mother and how her mother, came up like that, and how her mother always disapproved of Marilyn's lifestyle and told her, said some very cruel things to her. And I would have liked to have seen more of that relationship, but I understand that there's just not time for that, so I get it. So that would really be the only con. So those are the pros and cons for The Secret Life of Marilyn Monroe. Again, it's a 2-night miniseries event. It premieres May 30th on Lifetime at 8 p.m. and the second night will be the 31st at 8 p.m. I enjoyed it. I kind of have a thing for Marilyn Monroe. I'm interested in her life. She was gone too soon, and I feel like this definitely gives us more than we've seen in past Marilyn movies, books, everything like that. So because of that, I give it 7.5 hair flips. So I definitely recommend you watching it. It's Secret Life of Marilyn Monroe, Lifetime, night 1, May 30th, 8 p.m. Don't miss it. And by Marilyn Monroe, I'll see you next time.